Does anyone have a question? Sometimes I ask myself why I do this work, teach 7 of these classes a week, have special in-person classes on Saturdays again. And the answer always comes back to me that in my life and all the things I've lived through and studied and been a part of, I've never known anything that works as well if people truly do it. If they commit themselves to learning this amazing exercise that Rudy, left the world. Uh, I have never, I have never found anything. And I'm sure there is. I mean, people have found it can't be the only thing in the world. But I've never found anything that works as deeply and as profoundly to transform the inner lives of human beings. And it became for me ultimately a great honor to do this, a privilege. And in all humility, I I had to come to terms with the fact that in order to do it, I have to surrender everything. I have to, in a very profound way, be nothing, so that the higher energy, God, whatever one wants to call it, can work through me, and it can be used to help transform people that truly make a commitment to do this work in depth. And I often think, my God, Stuart, uh, 7 days a week, staring into a computer. I mean, and then I said, works for God's sake. It saved your life. It gave you, a vision of God and a way of serving God in the world, of surrendering everything inside you so that you can be connected with this higher force of energy in the universe. And it's what goes on inside myself all day. How sacred this is, and also how sacred and what kind of a treasure it is to have life every day, to breathe every day, to have the opportunity to grow every day and transform oneself every day, and to truly be a child of God living in the world. Does anyone have a question they would like to? And it comes back to simple and, the opening of one's heart, being strong enough. I talk about this all the time. And I don't know, maybe I should stop, but I can't stop because it is the single most essential element of doing spiritual practice. And you can't do it if you're not grounded, if you're not centered, if your mind is not quiet, if you haven't developed a chakra system that is strong enough to keep the heart open. There has to be chi, and really powerful chi, because there's so much bullshit in the world that can take you away from this, that can make one angry and upset and depressed and unhappy, that you've got to be really powerful inside in order to keep the heart. And that's what this meditation is about, building that kind of inner strength. And it's almost strange, building that kind of inner strength to attain the simplest thing that a human being can attain on this planet. And that's just to be happy. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? Oh, somebody has to have a question. I hope it's clear what I'm talking about, you know?
I have a question, Stuart.
Yes.
I'm working on really assimilating lately my spiritual life with my physical life challenges and my emotional life. And I find it's like there's a big cauldron with everything in it. And I find that if I put everything in the same pot, that it blends together and nourishes me instead of making me crazy. Do you want to talk about that?
I have to understand what you're talking about. Can you please be clearer and repeat it?
Sure. All the stuff in my emotional life, my physical challenges with my body, and my spiritual life, I've put it all together in one big cauldron, and I'm trying to cook it together so it nourishes all of me.
Oh, Christine, why are you making it so complicated? Just get your attention below the navel, build chi, build an inner life, feel gratitude, get your heart open, and allow all of that tension and emotional nonsense to go drain down and become energy that gives you life instead of putting it in a cauldron and fitting it all together. And this is all intellectual nonsense, Christine. And it's just, you trying to understand what this is all about. And I can promise you, you never will. And the only way you're going to be able to do it is to simply master your inner self, not putting it all in a cauldron. And there is no separation between your spiritual life and your life in the material world. There's no separation. And if you have developed the chakra system, all it will do is turn everything in your life into something sacred. But if you're not developed and you're trying to bring everything together and make everything fit into the cold, you're going to carry that to the grave. That it's not going to take you anywhere. And most of it is just your own emotions, which you haven't mastered yet. So please, it's much simpler than what you're trying to knock your brains out with. Get centered, build chi, open the heart, quiet the mind. And then you will recognize that everything in the material world is your teacher. Everything in the material world is telling you exactly what you need to do to grow, because everything in your material world and emotional world is just a reflection of yourself. And it will teach you exactly what you need to learn in order to grow and to finally come to a state of peace inside yourself. Otherwise, I don't have an answer. Otherwise, what's the answer? Keep trying to fit all the pieces in the puzzle. Get balanced, get centered, open the heart chakra, quiet the mind, get your sexual energy, to where it's truly activating Kundalini. Get the chakra system really working on the highest possible level that you can have it work. And then you won't have questions like this. Your spiritual life will become a living reality. You will see it. Everything in front of you, everything inside you, everything all around you, above you and below you, will be a manifestation of your spiritual life.
Thank you.
But it depends on you. You understand? I keep trying to tell everybody this. You have to make this covenant with higher energy. I will do the work. I will not try to figure out something that is impossible to figure out. Why the hell I was born here? Impossible. I can do the work and build a system that transforms my consciousness and allows me to see that everything in this world is sacred. It's all one's teacher. And being one's teacher, you got to bow to it. You have to have humility in front of it. You have to be grateful for it. You can't spend your life trying to push around your teacher. Life has infinitely more knowledge than each and every one of us. You have to open and receive it, but then we got to do the work that opens us inside and enables us to do what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the question. Because I think not only you, but everybody needs to hear this, even myself. I need to hear this too. It's not me talking. I tell you this all the time. I don't talk like this during the day. I mean, do I talk like this during the day, Jennifer? Tell them. No. I kid around, I have fun, I laugh, I take care of my business, I do, I live like a person. And then these classes come and suddenly this miraculous voice comes through. That's not only teaching all of you, it's teaching me too. It's extraordinary.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Does anyone else have a question?
Hi, Stuart. Hi.
Hi, Aileen.
I have been
One
having a lot of
second. I
change.
have a problem here. Let me got to be a little louder so I can hear
Okay.
you. Go ahead.
I have been going through a lot of change and I feel new. I feel like a baby. And I
Good,
hear people,
good.
yeah, okay. I I listen to people and I am like, wow, I used to be like that, like other people. And I have like a lot of passions. I have been very patient with people because I remember when I also used to be like that. But now I feel so new and I want to keep like raising, like raising my development. What I want to say is that I don't know where I don't know what is going to happen to me, but I know that it's going to be something really really good because I feel that inside, but at the same time this is something new that I have never experienced. So I feel that and anxiety too.
Aileen, dear, you're doing terrific. Okay. Just keep growing and, embrace the fact that you're becoming a baby. Embrace the fact that you're getting strength with innocence because those two things together enable you to really learn a great deal about yourself and the world. And it's a miracle. I mean, I remember you when you first came, and my God, and to see you today with this light coming out of you and the joy in your heart. I mean, it just really says to me, Stuart, what I do is worthwhile. I mean that. So just keep growing and don't try to figure it out. You'll never figure it out. Just grow and be. Just be. Be Aileen in the profoundest way you can be Aileen. I mean that. God bless you, dear. And it's a joy for me to have you in my classes and to work with you and to see how far you've come in such a short time. What is it, 2 years maybe? Like
1 year.
1 year. Oh, that's even better. How far you've come. So
Thank you.
just keep growing. You're doing wonderful. Does anyone else have a question? I mean, I had something happen today that there's somebody in my life now who I literally met 25 years ago. under very trying circumstances, but I always felt a deep connection with this person. And after 20 years or so, we got connected again, and he started coming to my classes. And I saw him today, and I said, you're like 10 years younger. The guy became 10 years younger, a big smile on his face. He was like a kid. I just couldn't do anything but hug him. It was such a miracle. And this took, 20 years ago, I met this person, and the cycle of that came back. And that's what it's about. It really is. Karma will get worked out in your lifetime if you continue to grow. It will get worked out. What a joy today. I tell you, it really made my day just seeing this person. How much in what, maybe 2 months he's been reconnected here. How much he's changed. Extraordinary. It's an extraordinary thing. It's like a miracle. And I see a bunch of miracles in front of me. I really do. People who have been transformed since the day I first met them. And it's maybe why I come to this class. Everybody's fresh and new. This class. Does anyone else have a question they'd like to ask? Okay, there'll be meditation tomorrow evening. And I'm hoping I see you all tomorrow. God bless you all. Thank you for being in my life. I really mean that. In all humility, I mean that. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. God bless you.
Night, Stuart. Thank you.
Thank you,
welcome.
Stuart.
You're welcome. Good night.